Hi, my shelflings. Welcome back to the Shadow Court of Questionable Choices, the place where we judge books, men, and trauma arcs with the same level of chaotic energy you'd expect from someone who reads at 3 a.m. with snacks and poor decisions. And today, we're talking Pyscho Shifters by Jasmine Mas. This book didn't ease me in. It stalked up to me, tilted my chin, and said, "Focus, sweetheart," and then introduced me to three shifters who absolutely need laminated danger signs. Let's dive straight into the shadows. Why this book bit me first. You ever open a book and instantly think, oh, I'm not emotionally stable enough for this, but let's give it a go anyway? Yeah, that's the Pyscho Shifters vibe. This book is dark. It's emotional. It's laid with rage, healing, trauma, tension, and chemistry that could melt steel. And the main character, Sadie, she's not a damsel. She's a ticking time bomb of suppressed power. The boys, Cobra, Jax, and Asher, sweeties. They aren't men. They're walking red flags with muscles and childhood trauma. And somehow, it works. And speaking of trauma, let's talk about the world we're stepping into. This world isn't soft. It isn't cozy. It isn't giving Disney princess. It's giving prove yourself or get eaten by the system. It's giving if you show weakness, someone will weaponize it. It's vibing like welcome to the Hunger Games, but everyone has claws and trust issues. Sadie walks into a world that's decided she's nothing, which, spoiler, is their first mistake. In this world, rigid hierarchy, violence baked into culture, power is currency, and everyone is broke. The shifting part, it's not cute, not romanticized, not, I shifted to a wolf and I'm cuddly cuddles. No. This shifting is trauma-coded, instinctual, unpredictable, the kind that happens when emotions snap in the wrong direction. The tone of this book, dark romance, meets psychological survival, meets a slow, steady reclaiming of strength. It's tense, it's raw, it's addictive. And now that we know where we are, let's talk about who we're dealing with. Because, oh boy, the Shadow Court has opinions. Welcome to Red Flag or Redeemable, Shifter Court Edition, where I judge characters like I'm running a supernatural HR department. Let's start with Sadie. You know what I love? A protagonist who's been kicked, shoved, overlooked, and underestimated, and still rises like she's fueled by spite, trauma, and one lukewarm cup of hope. Red flags? Oh, she's got the emotional suppression of a Victorian governess. Redeemable? Absolutely. Sadie's entire arc is reclaiming her voice and power. But, oh, yes, the voice. So, Cobra. He comes in hot with the sarcasm, hotter with the avoidance, and somehow even hotter when he finally starts letting his walls down. Red flag. He uses humor to avoid vulnerability like it's his religion. Redeemable? Well, when Cobra lets you in, it's deliberate, intimate, and intense. He cares in the shadows, not the spotlight. And honestly, it works. Jax. Oh, Jax. Walked straight out of the military. Discipline and into my patience. Like, wow, guy. Please relax. Red flags? He judges Sadie immediately. He clings to rules like they're emotional support animals. Redeemable? When he finally sees Sadie, truly sees her, that shift is chef's kiss. His loyalty is quiet but unshakable. Then there's Asher. He might be my favorite. Asher is the smile through the pain king, the joke in the middle of a breakdown prince. I love him, but I want to elbow him also. Both things can be true, right? Red flag? Emotional avoidance, avoidance as performance, avoidance as personality trait. You see where we're going with this. Red flag? He adapts. He evolves. He becomes her emotional anchor before he even realizes he's doing it. I'm going to say pack verdict on this. They start as red flags. They grow into redemption arcs. They don't get better by becoming softer. They get better by becoming honest. And now that we've dragged everyone through the court, let's get serious for a second. Because this book, it actually has a lot to say. Let's run into a little bit of more of a deep dive here. Let's talk craft. Let's talk storytelling. Let's talk why this book hits like an emotional freight train. This book does not treat trauma like aesthetic angst. It's character motivation. It's world building. It's plot direction. And Sadie's healing feels earned. The shifting, they don't shift because it's cool. They shift because something inside them snaps or needs release. Every chapter ends like the author wants you dehydrated and sleep deprived. Tension leads to emotion, leads to danger, leads to softness, leads to chaos. Repeat. Nothing is dark for shock value. Everything connects back to identity, power, and survival. Okay, that's enough depth. Let's get messy again. All right, shelflings. Let's slide into my favorite segment, Thirsty for Trouble, where we highlight the moments and characters who had me leaning forward like, oh no, I should not be enjoying this. Yet, here we are. And more importantly, why it works. Cobra's sudden cracks in the armor, you know what gets me every single time? When the sarcastic, sharp-tongued, emotionally blocked character accidentally slips and shows real feeling. Cobra spends half the book pushing Sadie away, hiding behind jokes and venom, like it's holy scripture. So when he finally pauses, when the sarcasm drops, when he looks at her like she's someone worth protecting, instead of someone who's trying not to need, that is an earthquake. It's not just, ooh, tension. It's payoff. It's character development. It's vulnerability disguised as danger. And that is exactly the kind of trouble we thirst for. Jax stepping into protector mode, deliberately, not instinctively. Jax is all structure, rules, command, discipline. He's the guy who'd yell at a sunrise for being late. So when he steps between Sadie and danger, it's not instinct. It's not animalistic reaction. It's a choice. Calculated, controlled, and absolutely devastating. Jax doesn't protect because he can. He protects because she earns his respect. And that shift from judgment to defense is so much more powerful because he starts out resistant. His protectiveness feels like, I see you. I believe you. I will stand with you. And that's the kind of trouble that ruins women, people. Asher, getting serious. The jokes drop. The truth surfaces. Asher is chaotic glitter. Emotional deflection with a smile. The I'm fine, friend. Everybody has one of those, right? You know, how's your day? Fine. How are you? I'm fine. They're never absolutely fine. Absolutely not fine is more like it. So when the moment hits where he stops joking, when the smile fades, when his voice lowers, and you suddenly feel the weight he's been carrying, oh, that is the good stuff. Because Asher, being serious, isn't just hot, it's meaningful. It shows self awareness, depth he hides from everyone else, and a connection to Sadie that he doesn't offer lightly. His seriousness is rare, and rarity makes impact. And for Sadie flipping that power dynamic, let's be so for real. Nothing in this world is hotter than a woman taking back her power in a system that's designed itself to break her. And Sadie does exactly that. Every time she stands her ground, fights back, snaps at someone who thought she'd stay silent, or makes a move they didn't expect. You can feel the shift in the room. The boys don't just notice, they recalibrate. Sadie choosing herself is one of the most magnetic parts of the entire book. It's not just empowerment, it's attraction, built on respect, honesty, and fire. The tension when all three shifters react differently to her, this right here, peak thirsty for trouble energy. Because Cobra, Jax, and Asher aren't interchangeable. They don't like Sadie the same way. They don't protect her the same way. They don't want her the same way. And that difference is what makes the air thick enough to cut with a knife. Every shared screen is a collision of personalities, trauma responses, leadership styles, and complicated affection. It's layered. It's messy. It's so immersive, you forget you're reading. The tension isn't just romantic, it's psychological, political, emotional, and occasionally it's a little spicy. And that, again, is the kind of trouble that keeps me flipping pages like my life depends on it. You cannot put this book down. Let's wrap this chaos in a nice trope bow. Found family with bite. This isn't the soft, cozy kind of found family. This is, we trauma bonded in a battlefield, and now we ride at dawn together. Sharp edges, real loyalty, no fluff. Recovery as identity. These characters aren't quirky. They're healing out loud. Their trauma shapes everything. Their choices, their reactions, their relationships. It's messy, powerful, and real. Antagonistic beginnings. They don't start as friends. They start as side eyes, arguments, and emotional chokeholds. Literally. Enemies to uneasy allies to something deeper. Prove yourself or die trying. This world doesn't hand out respect. Sadie has to fight for every inch. Her strength is earned, not gifted. Men learning emotional literacy. These men could not identify a feeling with a map. But slowly, painfully, they learn to open up, trust, and communicate. That growth, delicious. And now that we've decoded the trope arsenal this book uses, let's ask the $1 million question. Would I recommend it? Yes. If you want dark romance that actually means something, you love broken characters healing, you love complicated, sharp-edged relationships. No. If you want fluffy, soft, easy romance, this ain't that. This is heavy, emotional, powerful. And that, my loves, is today's tale of passion, danger, and poor life choices. Stay bold, stay chaotic, stay curious. And if three shifters start acting territorial around you, make sure you're in a book before you start enjoying it. And next week, we say goodbye to chaos, bad decisions, and characters who absolutely needed supervision. And honestly, I loved every unhinged second of it. But we're stepping into something very different with the things we leave unfinished. A story about love, history, and the kind of secrets that refuse to stay buried. And you already know, if a story is unfinished, we're absolutely investigating it. Until next time, Shuffling Court dismissed.